Now I know that this comparison may make some people angry just by looking at the title. Many will argue that there is no point comparing the two phones as the Mi Mix 2 is more than twice the price of the Mi A1. However, there is a very important reason to do so. As we saw in our past videos, the Mi A1 versus OnePlus 5 camera comparison yielded very interesting results, which saw the Mi A1 win in terms of photography with the rear camera, and the Mi Mix 2 camera review showed that it is well under equipped and optimized when it comes to camera performance. As a result, there is a chance that the Mi A1 could come on top in certain areas again, and if that's the case, it would be a bonus for people who want a good camera but don't want to spend too much without proper reasoning. The Mi Mix 2 and Mi A1 both have primary 12MP cameras with 1.25 micron pixel size, but the Mi Mix 2 gets a larger f2 aperture compared to the f2.2 aperture of the Mi A1. The Mi A1 also gets a secondary 2x telephoto camera that has 12MP of resolution as well, but smaller f2.6 aperture as well as 1 micron pixel size. The Mi Mix 2 has OIS on its camera, while the Mi A1 doesn't have OIS on either camera. Coming to the image quality, the Mi A1 produces images on most instances that are larger in file size as well as having more detail and sharpness than the Mi Mix 2. The difference in sharpness is especially evident in the corners and sides where the A1 stands out. Despite the A1 having a smaller aperture and needing a higher ISO or at least a longer shutter speed, it seems to do a better job at avoiding blurring and keeping the sharpness intact even without the OIS that the Mi Mix 2 has. The dynamic range is more or less the same, but in more instances the Mi A1 seems to exhibit a better dynamic range as opposed to the Mi Mix 2, especially when HDR mode is turned on. However, in some instances the Mi Mix 2 also seems to do a better job. Coming to the color reproduction, the Mi Mix 2 offers a more neutral palette, while the Mi A1 tends to saturate the photos further, which some people may like or dislike. It also has a tendency to be a bit more yellowish on the A1. There's no telephoto lens on the Mi Mix 2, nor is there a portrait mode. However, there's selective focus mode that allows you to apply blur effects either using a parallel selector or a circular one, and we took a few shots of the Mi A1 in portrait mode along with the Mi Mix 2 selective focus mode to show how they compare against each other. As you can tell, the A1 photos do look more natural as they come from a narrow focal length that provides a shallower depth of field and decent bokeh to begin with. Its algorithm can identify edges easily and cut out what's unnecessary to blur it. The Mi Mix 2 doesn't do that and instead just creates a halo region which remains in focus while the outside region is given a blur. Coming to the front-facing camera, both the smartphones have 5MP units that aren't too impressive in terms of dynamic range or detailing. However, the Mi Mix 2 is the winner here by taking photos that are better not just in terms of dynamic range, but also in terms of overall exposure and sharpness. When it comes to panoramas, the Mi A1 packs in more detail with larger file sizes and more sharpness. However, the image stitching isn't as seamless as the Mi Mix 2, and you can see artifacts if you zoom into the image. The much more powerful processor of the Mi Mix 2 seems to have given it the upper hand here. Video quality wise, there's a difference of night and day between the two. While the Mi Mix 2 itself isn't the strongest flagship in terms of video game, it's miles ahead of the Mi A1 in terms of sharpness, dynamic range as well as the stabilization and audio. However, the tables are turned when it comes to a front camera mode where the Mi A1 captures better photos and videos with better audio as well, while the Mi Mix 2 isn't as sharp and has a funny exposure.
This is the video on the Mi Mix 2, the front facing camera. Let me know what the overall sharpness is like and how the colors, the dynamic range as well as the stabilization is. And even though I am on a busy street right now, let me know how my voice is being picked up as well, because with the noise cancelling cameras, noise cancelling microphones, I beg your pardon, it should be pretty good as well. This is the video being shot on the front facing camera of the Mi A1. Let me know how the overall stabilization is as well as the dynamic range, the sharpness, the colors, etc. and how it actually picks up my audio. I'm here near a busy street, but even then with the noise cancelling microphones, it should pick up my audio pretty clear and crisp. So let me know how that works as well.
Slow motion videos have more detail and sharpness on the Mi Mix 2 as well, and both of them record at 720p in terms of resolution. The colors also seem a bit washed out on the Mi A1 in slow motion. Overall, it's very difficult to actually rank one smartphone over the other in terms of camera skills they pack. However, it seems that the Mi A1 does have a stronger photography game with the rear camera, while the Mi Mix 2 is better for videos and for taking photos with the front-facing camera. So if you're thinking of buying a device solely for the camera, you need to decide which one is a priority for you and make an informed choice after that. However, please do note that other than the cameras itself, both these devices also have a big difference in terms of specifications and overall package they provide, so choose wisely. You can find the purchase link for both the phones from the description below. That's it for this video guys, thanks for watching, see you again in the next one. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications to get the latest updates from us. Thanks for watching this video, see you again in the next one.